Simone rushed to meet her friends as they had a group exam to take. As she met them, her father, Frederick, suddenly appeared and took her away, saying there was an emergency. They went inside their car where her mother and brother Rasmus were. Frederick was driving fast on the highway and Simone was confused about what was happening. She kept asking where they were going when she heard the news on their radio. It said that people in their area were getting ill after being exposed to rain. She turned around and saw dark clouds forming in the sky. A commotion happened in their car which distracted Frederick from driving. Their car swerved, trying to avoid hitting a truck. They found themselves in the opposite lane, causing a truck to fall on its side. Other cars were forced to stop as the truck completely blocked the road. Frederick grew desperate as the rain loomed. He exited his car and led his family into the woods. Frederick showed them an appalling bunker and they went inside. He told his family that everything they needed to survive was available inside the bunker. Frederick told his children he had to leave as he had to do something. He pulled Simone aside and told her the rain contained a virus that could kill people. Frederick emphasized that she must protect her brother since Rasmus was the key to everything. He put on his hazmat suit and left the bunker. Simone went to the kitchen where Rasmus and her mother were. They suddenly heard banging on the door. Simone thought it was her father, but her mother told her not to open it. She didn't listen. Simone opened the door and saw a man behind it. It wasn't her father. The man grabbed Rasmus. Luckily, his mother came to his rescue. She tackled the man off her son but got exposed to the rain. She looked at her children, telling them to close the door and go inside. Their mother appeared to be in pain and started vomiting. Simone closed the door and wept with her brother. She tried calling her father, but he didn't answer. Simone put her brother to sleep and she remembered the time when Rasmus was terminally ill. Her father was hesitant to inject him with the medicine he made as its effect were still unclear. But her mother insisted that he injected anyway since the simulations produced positive results. Rasmus woke up and started browsing through the bunker's tablet. He saw that there were other bunkers near them. They tried contacting them, but the communications were down. Simone told Rasmus to look for a radio device or walkie-talkie so they could call somebody for help. She heard something shatter and went to see what it was. Simone saw a broken vacuum on the ground, and Rasmus apologized for breaking it. She noticed the container that Rasmus stood on contained research equipment. Simone opened it but saw nothing useful. She grabbed another container and opened it. To her luck, she found a radio inside. Simone tried using it and was able to talk to someone named Philip. She told him about their situation and asked if he could call their father. Philip told them the networks were down, but he would try everything he could. Later, Simone heard Philip talking on the radio. She rushed to answer him. Philip told her he couldn't contact her father, but there was a nearby pickup location at the hospital. Unfortunately, the power went out and their call got cut. She woke up Rasmus and said she was going to the pickup location to see if their father was there, but Rasmus wouldn't allow her as he didn't want to be left alone. Simone insisted, but Rasmus kept saying no, which forced her to give what her brother wanted. The siblings cultivated soil inside the bunker and used it to plant crops for their food. Rasmus asked Simone if their father would come back. Simone assured her brother that he will. They ate their dinner and Simone noticed that Rasmus seemed distant and quiet. She played music to lighten the mood. Simone started dancing and Rasmus eventually joined her. They enjoyed themselves as the two danced the night away. Life in the bunker became a routine for them. They woke up, ate food, did their chores, and slept. Days turned into weeks, weeks turned into months, and months turned into years. Before they knew it, they had spent 6 years inside the bunker. They were running out of food, which forced Simone to look for some outside the bunker. When Rasmus was asleep, she wore the hazmat suit and went outside to look for food. It was pitch black and only the light from her flashlight illuminated her surroundings. She walked toward the city where she saw empty cars and buildings. Simone saw a sign pointing to the pickup location. She followed it and found herself in an abandoned hotel. Simone searched the premises but sadly only found rubble and rotting corpses. She kept yelling in hopes of finding another survivor, but there was no one. Unfortunately, a rabid dog blocked her way and chased her outside the building. Rasmus woke up and saw Simone in the kitchen. He sat at the chair and Simone told him they would leave the next day. She said there was nothing outside and they needed to head to another bunker to survive. Simone wept as the situation weighed down on her. Rasmus hugged Simone and told her that they'd work together to survive. He got excited as he could finally leave the bunker. As they slept that night, alarms went off as the oxygen level plummeted. Rasmus woke up and realized the situation. He tried waking Simone, but she was unresponsive. Rasmus dragged his sister's body up the door and opened it. Armed individuals were waiting for them outside and pointed their guns at the siblings. Simone got up and pulled her brother back inside the bunker as the armed individuals followed them. A while back, soldiers were entering the city. They were briefed to open fire if an infected person approached them. A soldier named Martin was tasked with the first watch. The intruders locked the siblings inside their rooms. Simone and Rasmus were confused as they didn't know why they were being attacked. Simone kept saying they weren't infected, but the intruders couldn't hear her. The intruders searched for something, but the siblings couldn't figure out what. Simone called the attention of one of the intruders. She grabbed a marker and wrote her name on the glass. The intruder replied and said she was Beatrice. Simone wrote a question mark asking what they wanted. Beatrice wrote on the glass using her breath's moisture and said they wanted food. The man with the weapon was Martin, and he told Beatrice they were leaving. While heading out, Simone turned off the electricity. Martin looked back and went toward her. Simone wrote bunker and showed Martin the location of the other bunkers. Martin looked closer, but Simone stepped back and smashed the device. She signaled to him that the information was inside her memory. Martin informed Patrick, one of the intruders, that the siblings were coming with them since they knew where to find food. In the past, Martin was guarding the bridge when he saw a woman carrying a baby approaching them. He threatened the woman, saying if she got closer, he would shoot. But the woman didn't listen and kept on walking. Martin had multiple opportunities to pull the trigger, but failed to do so. His comrade radioed him asking for help. Martin got off the bridge and ran towards their tent. He saw all his comrades had died, along with the woman. Martin felt distraught as guilt rushed over him. He took a step back and ran away. Currently, Martin and his group followed Simone to reach the next bunker. Patrick didn't believe the siblings' story, claiming they lived inside a bunker for 6 years. He also thought Simone lied about remembering where the other bunkers were. Martin approached Simone and told her he'd shoot them if she endangered his group. They went through the woods and saw 2 armed men in the distance. Martin told everyone to get down and used a heat-reflecting sheet to hide everyone's heat signature. Beatrice explained that those men searched for survivors, and if one was found, they never returned. The men used their drones to find heat signatures and detected a woman near them. The woman ran and the men pursued her. Simone saw this and wanted to help. Martin refused, but Beatrice also decided to help the woman, so she accompanied Simone. The woman ran, but she unfortunately stepped into wet soil. Martin caught up to them and shot the 2 men. He saw that the woman was exposed to the liquid, so he shot her. Martin told them that the woman was infected the moment she stepped on the wet soil. They left and continued their journey. They came across an establishment and decided to use it as shelter for the night. Martin saw that Rasmus had no shoes, so he ordered John to find him one. John led Rasmus to another room where he found a corpse wearing boots. He took them and gave them to Rasmus. Darkness came and so did the rain. Everyone was asleep when Beatrice and Martin got up to head to another room. Rasmus saw this and decided to follow them. He saw Beatrice sitting on Martin's lap as the 2 made love. Rasmus hid as Martin and Beatrice left the room. The next day, the group continued walking toward the bunker. They went through a narrow path where Rasmus accidentally stepped on a puddle. Martin got ready to shoot, but Simone went in front of the nozzle, blocking his shot. Simone told Beatrice to use gloves and check if the water made contact with Rasmus's foot. Beatrice obliged and took off Rasmus's boot. As she looked closely, she determined that the water didn't go through his boot. Martin lowered his weapon and they continued walking. After a while, they reached the bunker. Simone placed her hand on the scanner, which opened the bunker's door. Martin asked her why she had the authority to open bunkers, but Simone ignored him. They went inside and celebrated as they found food. Leia and John started eating anything they could get their hands on while Simone activated the lights. As she entered a room, she saw a phone with her and Rasmus's face as the wallpaper. She picked it up and examined it. Simone went to the bathroom and told Rasmus she had found their father's phone. She got excited and told her brother their father's boss had left him a message. They sat down and looked at the video. It showed a man telling their father to come to Sweden to find a cure for the virus and said only their father could do it. It gave Simone hope, and she told Rasmus they should go to Sweden because that was where their father probably was. She felt happy that their father was alive and attempting to save the world. In the past, Beatrice, Leia, and John were running away from Martin and Patrick. They got caught and Martin threatened to steal their supplies. Beatrice told them that she knew where to get food, which made Martin lower his weapon. In the present, Simone showed Martin the video on her father's phone, saying her father worked for Apollon. She suggested that her father was in Sweden attempting to find a cure for the virus. Martin was pessimistic, saying if their father were alive, he wouldn't have left them for 6 years. He also said it was impossible to go to Sweden because all the bridges leading out of the city were destroyed to control the virus. Martin warned them to stay away from strangers since people would kill them for food. But despite his warnings, Simone and Rasmus still left. Leia asked Martin where Simone and Rasmus were. Martin answered and said they went to Sweden to look for their father. After hearing this, Leia, Beatrice, and John decided to find the siblings and go with them to Sweden. Beatrice served the food that John cooked to Martin and Patrick. The five of them ate while having small talk about John's mother naming him after John d'Arc. Simone and Rasmus were walking when they found a broken bus. They went inside it and checked it out. They noticed people outside and quickly hid between the seats. To their surprise, Beatrice, Leia, and John appeared. Leia told them that they wanted to come with them to Sweden, which delighted the siblings. They had fun inside the bus for a while before leaving to continue their journey. They found a Burger King joint and decided to stop there to eat. Inside the bunker, Martin kept wondering why Beatrice and the others would follow the siblings when they knew it was safer inside the bunker. Patrick told him to ignore them, but Martin decided to pack his things and follow them. The five of them were eating when Simone suggested they leave and head to a bunker in Amager to spend the night. John told them he needed to find a new pair of glasses first since he couldn't see in his old ones. Beatrice gave him 5 minutes and Leia accompanied him. Beatrice woke up and went to where Martin was sleeping. She came near him, which startled Martin. Beatrice slowly went on top of him and started to make love with him. Martin was surprised by Beatrice's sudden actions. She got off of him and said they'd be staying together. Rasmus asked Beatrice why the city was dangerous. She told him that the citizens who weren't infected ran out of food, which resulted in them killing one another trying to find it. As she said this, people started appearing outside. Beatrice told the siblings to run as the strangers busted through the door and ate the food they left at the table. Through the commotion, Simone got separated from Beatrice and Rasmus. Elsewhere, John was trying out glasses with Leia. They talked for a while and decided that they should return to their group. Simone kept yelling, trying to look for Rasmus and Beatrice. She saw a bulletin board filled with posters of missing people. A child was standing behind it, which caught Simone's attention. Rasmus and Beatrice noticed that it was about to rain. They entered a house where Beatrice said she grew up. Simone also noticed the sky and immediately grabbed the child and went inside a building for shelter. Beatrice went inside a room and saw 2 corpses cuddled together. She told Rasmus about the time she went to see a movie and her father kept calling her. She didn't answer and saw her father's messages saying he and her mother were feeling ill. Beatrice showed the corpses of her parents to Rasmus and wept. Simone noticed that the child was hungry, so she gave him food. A man appeared and grabbed the child, saying he was the child's father. Martin and Patrick were inside the bus hiding from the rain. The device they took from the men in the woods fell and suddenly showed an image of a map. Martin examined it and determined they were inside a quarantine zone. The rain stopped, so Beatrice and Rasmus got out of the house and resumed searching for Simone. The father told Simone that she would leave while she could. Simone told him he should also leave, but the father told her he couldn't since his son was too weak to travel. He told her that there were doctors in a place called the Little Bjared, where he wanted to take his son. Simone gave them more food and the father escorted her outside. Unfortunately, other people noticed their food and ambushed them. Simone started running, but one of the strangers saw her. She went to the Burger King joint and reunited with the others. They were about to leave, but the stranger suddenly arrived and blocked the exit. The stranger grabbed Rasmus and put a knife near his neck, asking where he could find food. Martin arrived and pointed his weapon at the stranger. He ordered the man to release Rasmus, but the stranger stabbed him and escaped. Simone panicked, but Martin told her to calm down. Simone told him about the bunker in Amager, so Martin asked them to find something they could use to transport Rasmus. They placed him on a cart and ran through the city, desperately trying to reach the bunker. When they arrived, they were surprised the bunker was open. Martin went inside to investigate and saw it was empty. They placed Rasmus on a table where Simone gave him painkillers, and Martin dressed his wound using duct tape. He finally calmed down, and Simone stood beside him. Beatrice appeared and told Simone that she'd watch Rasmus for her so she could get some rest. Simone obliged and thanked her. Beatrice approached Rasmus and caressed his hair, saying she'd look after him. Martin showed Simone the diagram of the city and told her about the wall. He thought the virus must have been contained since the wall was built by the authorities. Martin looked into Simone's eyes and told her there had to be life on the other side of the wall.
Subscribe to watch more videos like this. Turn on notifications. And leave a like, it really helps the channel out. Thank you for watching.